Real Madrid are in crisis. 1 win in 5 La Liga games, a 2-0 humiliation at home to Celta Vigo, and a dressing room that looks completely lost. Xabi Alonso's high-pressing ideas have broken the defense, the players aren't buying in, and an emergency board meeting means he is one bad result away from losing his job.
I'm gonna lose my job.
At the back, Militao is out for months. Trent is injured. Every counter-attack feels like a goal waiting to happen. Up front, Mbappe and Vinicius are carrying the team, while names like Rodrigo, Mendy, Ceballos, and even Alaba are suddenly on the chopping block as the club prepares a summer clear-out. So today, we're taking over this broken Real Madrid, fixing the defense, deciding who survives the rebuild, and starting a generational trophy run. And so we're diving in at a live start point where Real Madrid is in a second position, 1 point behind Barcelona, and clearly having lost that league lead which they had for quite a while this season, this is something that is worrying the people, the higher ups at the club. In the Champions League as we speak, they're in that 5th position, and this is actually how it looks like in real life. But right above me here, you can see they're up against Manchester City next. And I'm already seeing rumors, big rumors about this game. According to one of the biggest newspapers in Spain, if Real Madrid lose against Manchester City, Xabi Alonso will be fired. That just shows you what kind of high-level expectation they have, doesn't it? And well, in real life right now, they're sat in a second position with 36 points, 4 points behind Barcelona. But first, let me tell you, we have to beat Zidane's record of winning 3 Champions League titles in a row in this video. When it comes to the numbers, Kylian Mbappe is doing exceptional. He has 26 goal contributions in 19 games, but then there's a huge drop-off when it comes to the rest of the squad. Vinny Jr. is still somewhat delivering, despite all the antics that he and Xabi Alonso have been having in the past couple of weeks. A lot of people assumed that there is a big, a little bit of an argument between the two. Jude Bellingham comes in with 6 goal contributions, nowhere near his form of the past, of course, where he was getting a lot of goal contributions for this team. Arda Güler has 10 goal contributions in 19 games. I personally am obviously a massive fan of him, but it seems like not all Real Madrid fans are convinced. I'm constantly seeing a lot of people discuss players like Vini Jr., Rodrigo specifically, and also Arda. I feel like those types of numbers from the position that he plays in, not too bad. But hey, first of all, here is what might be happening. Rodrigo goes onto the transfer list straight away. The same goes for Ceballos. Endrick is going to be on the loan list. I mean, he came in as one of the biggest talents potentially and has barely gotten any playtime. So I'm excited to see if he gets loaned out, how he's going to be doing. Ferland Mendy also onto the transfer list, as you've heard in the intro. And finally, David Alaba is going onto the transfer list as well. One of the older players, someone that I absolutely loved at Bayern Munich, someone that, in my opinion at the time, was the best left back in the world. But obviously at Real, he has kind of changed to become a centre-back, has been a lot more defensive, and he gets a lot of wages, so it makes sense for Real to go ahead and move him on. And there's only 1 month between now and the January transfer window. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the Manchester City game to try and save Xabi Alonso's job. And since we have injuries to Militao and Trent, Valverde is going to be playing as a right back and Camavinga moves into the midfield. And well, it worked out pretty well. Arda Güler is on the ball straight away, finds Jude Bellingham, and within 7 minutes, Jude scores and asks, am I the best in the world? Well, lads, here we go. The defense is the issue, and that's what we need to fix immediately, because Manchester City score. It's the equalizer. Haaland scores, of course. Haaland against Mbappe is a big battle, but it just didn't end there. Manchester City had chance upon chance and should have won this game, but Courtois had something against it. Arda had a big chance in the 84th, but nothing came of it. He didn't lose, but a draw wasn't that great either. And so Rodrigo is the first to leave. Xabi Alonso has let him go. Arda Güler seems to be the one that he wants to build upon, and Rodrigo needs regular playtime. And what better team to go to for him than to join Arsenal? Yes, my friends, we have sold him to Arsenal for 90 million. And so now on top of Rodrigo, Mendy, Ceballos, and Alaba have left. Alaba, though, joining a rival of the City in Atletico Madrid. I'll keep that in mind. And so in the first season, what's the result? Real Madrid in second, behind Barcelona. No La Liga trophy. In the Copa de España, we have won that one, which I'm very pleased with. At least one domestic trophy. And that might just save Xabi Alonso's job. But Real Madrid is not just any team. We are not even part of the finale, and Galatasaray is part of it. When we go down, we'll find ourselves in the round of 16 getting kicked out against Juventus. And if this happened in real life, I'm very confident Xabi would be gone. Real is just not the same as other clubs in this world. This is the highest pressure club that you can be a manager for. And even the slightest issues within the squad can cost you your job. And at this moment in time, it is an exceptional squad that we have. A very, very strong squad with Trent back now, with Militao now back from his injury as well. And obviously, Courtois, I extended his contract. I believe Courtois, Carvajal, and many others, their contracts are running out in the upcoming summer. So I'm going to be very interested to see what happens. I tried to loan out Endrick. No one would take him. I don't know what's going on. Numbers-wise, Kylian has 44 and 4, Jude Bellingham 23 and 7, Vinny Jr. 17 and 12, Arda comes in with 11 and 13, and Valverde from that deeper position with 5 and 13 I'm happy with. Mastantuono has gone up to an 80. He does look like a special player as well. If you are a Real Madrid fan and you watch their games, please let me know what you think of him so far in his performances for the club. I've only seen a few clips here and there. He does look pretty good. Since we are here for the long term and wanting to win multiple big trophies, we need to make sure that players like Courtois and Carvajal, who are obviously legends, and even players like Rudiger, who have won some big titles with this club, need to be replaced properly. Now, for Rudiger, we obviously already have Dean Housen, who in my opinion would have been a perfect Barcelona centre-back just because of his passing play. But he is now at Real Madrid. He can be the future of this defense. Militao still has some left in the tank if he stops getting injured. But with that being said, Courtois obviously is someone that we need to replace long term. I don't think Real Madrid are going to be building upon Lunin too much, to be honest with you, even though he has put up some good performances in the past. Real Madrid have an exceptional player doing great things over in the Serie A. And of course it is Nico Paz, who they have a buyback clause for in the upcoming summers 26 and 27. And the buyback clause is a laughable 9 to 11 million. I just had to buy him for 80 million, my friends. Nico Paz is truly looking exceptional right now. And that's a move that really makes me think, if he comes into the team, there's no way Brahim Diaz still stays in this squad. He definitely will have to be moved on, because you then have too many players that have a similar profile in some sense. Nico Paz, Mastantuono, Arda Güler. I think it overlaps a little bit too much. But only if Xabi Alonso actually wants to move to a 3 at the back formation, you could play someone like Jude and Arda or Nico Paz in that position, play like a 3-4-2-1. I don't think he will do it. I think Real Madrid will always have a back 4, and it's not going to change. So Nico Paz returning, on paper, an exceptional player comes back to the squad. But it could only end up being a money move because he is so good. They have to pay 9 to 11 million, and then they can just sell him on for what, 60, 70 easily? I mean, I just had to pay 80 for him. Big news out of Germany. Nico Schlotterbeck has decided to not extend his contract with Dortmund, which has alerted a lot of clubs, and he is hoping to join Real Madrid, it seems, which would be some move. One of the highest rated defenders in the game, one of the best offensive centre-backs in my opinion as well, and someone that can create a bit of chaos. Nico Schlotterbeck, welcome to the team for 100 million. Real Madrid only bring in the best of the best. In my opinion, I was looking through all the options. Mark Gahey was another option, but apparently he has just told Liverpool that he's going to join them, so that's good. But Nico Schlotterbeck is the one joining us right now with an 88 rating, which is genuinely insane, which puts Rudiger onto the bench, and Schlotterbeck actually comes in and takes over from Housen as well. So Militao and Schlotterbeck in these positions at the back, pretty impressive. But in my opinion, Real Madrid should probably go in for Bastoni. I think Bastoni is an exceptional centre-back, but then again, I'm not sure if he fits into the Real Madrid squad. I feel like, for whatever reason, Schlotterbeck kind of works. In Season 2, Real Madrid is back to where they belong, in a Champions League finale against Porto of all teams. This has to be the first Champions League for us to win. And off we go with Kylian Mbappe. 14 minutes in, he finds Nico Paz, who takes a shot. And why is he playing? Because Jude Bellingham and Arda Güler were suspended for this finale. And that might be the reason why we have gone down immediately. 21st minute, it seems like our team is a bit shaken and Porto takes the lead, which I did not expect at all. Here I thought it should have been 2-0. Then I gave the ball back to them and said, hey, make it 2-0. Great job, Johnny. Very unhappy with this situation there. But luckily, Mastantuono, who replaced Arda Güler, is now taking it on himself. It is the first goal for Real Madrid. A little bit of shimmer of hope for us coming through the cloud of doubts. Here goes Nico Paz again. He smacks it this time into the top corner, and Real Madrid make the comeback happen. Surely we weren't going to be losing against a team like Porto. No disrespect, but this is Real Madrid we're talking about. 78 minutes in, Vini Jr., Nico Paz, all three attackers now working together, and Vini Jr. is the one sprinting through and scoring as we run towards our first Champions League trophy of this rebuild. Vini Jr. and the team have pulled off an exceptional comeback. Whilst that is our only Champions League trophy, it's also the season in which we do win the La Liga title, ahead of Barcelona by just 3 points, which is pretty impressive. Our top scorer, well, Paulo Dybala has joined into La Liga. Interesting. Mbappe only has 20, same as Jude. Generally speaking, though, the starting 11 is obviously ridiculously strong at this stage. The signings that we have made, the changes that we have made to the squad as well, I think it looks incredible. And on the bench, having players like Paz, Mastantuono, Camavinga, and Hausen as well. These are some really, really big names that we have down here. But I feel like we're still missing a few pieces for the future. Yes, we did win the Champions League, but only winning it once? That's not Real Madrid. Time to bring in the young to replace the old. Svilar is joining Real Madrid as we speak. AS Roma's goalkeeper has truly turned around his career. I've signed him for 85 million right now, and I still remember to this day. By the way, he comes in at an 86. I still remember to this day when he had like a couple of debut matches for Benfica, I believe it was at the time. And he made some big mistakes. And everyone was thinking that he's like a big talent coming up. From that moment on, his career dipped big time. Then he moves over to Italy. And all of a sudden, this guy becomes one of the best younger goalkeepers in the world of football. And now he comes into our team at an 86 rating, backing up the likes of Courtois, allowing Lunin to finally move somewhere else and be the number one. Again, I don't think he's going to be the number one at Real Madrid. I'd be very surprised if he is. I'm not saying he's bad. I think he's actually pretty decent. But I do think someone like Svilar, who has truly proven himself consistently on that level now at AS Roma and is having such great form, could really benefit from moving to a big team like this and then having the potential of becoming the new number one for a huge club. So, Svilar, welcome to Real Madrid. By the way, Endrick has been out on loan at Lille and he's gone up to an 82 by now. And so here we find ourselves again. Liverpool against Real Madrid. Now this is a Champions League finale I can get behind. So here we are. Last time against Porto it was a bit of an issue, but this time we're starting off with the chances and somehow it ends up being Valverde. Carreras goes back to Valverde. I want to see the power shot, and every time it's a dangerous one, but I wasn't able to score from it. Here goes Abdullah down the right. Might be Mo Salah's regen. Who knows? Ekitike over to Gakpo. Courtois needs to step in for us as he does. Very happy with that. Jude Bellingham now finds Kylian Mbappe. He'll try scoring from outside the box, but the same result once again. This time, we decided to run through Vini Jr. and Mbappe in combination, take us into the lead against Liverpool, who we obviously have lost against this year in real life. Kylian Mbappe over to Arda. Arda wants to get a piece of this. He did miss the last Champions League finale. Sadly, can't get it done there. His cross whipped in towards Mbappe, and then he shoots a McAllister off the line. But that is enough. We have won our second Champions League trophy. Real Madrid is on the right track. And once again in La Liga, Real Madrid have 90 points. The gap between us and Barcelona is becoming bigger and bigger. And when we look at the top scorer, Kylian Mbappe is up there alongside Lamine Yamal, though, and Alvarez right behind them. This is a great league right now. It is competitive, but Real Madrid are beating their bitter rivals. Not only that, but they're also surpassing their potentials. I mean, we're looking at Mbappe on a 95, Bellingham as well, Vini Jr. 94, Arda on a 91, Valverde has gotten there. Defense looks exceptional now with Alexander-Arnold and Carreras going up in their ratings. Courtois might be 36 years old, but he's still 90 rated, and I keep extending his contract as much as I can, because why get rid of him? Nico Paz, Mastantuono, Camavinga, Hausen, these are some world-class players on the bench, and that is how Real Madrid really needs to be. That is the level of expectation, and I cannot even imagine how crazy it must be to support this club, because you can never really be happy. You always have to expect the best of the best. Anything below that is just not good enough. Sadly, though, we will have to say goodbye to Antonio Rüdiger, whose contract is expiring. And look, Endrick is back on an 85 rating now. I wonder, maybe he should be getting some playtime, but at least he is going to be the main backup to Mbappe now, because Gonzalo didn't really grow enough, sadly. And yet again, we find ourselves at the end of another season. 92 points, 10 ahead of FC Barcelona. Top scorer in the league, Kylian Mbappe. Top assists in the league, none of our players, but Arda is there in the 4th position. Clean sheets. Courtois is still doing some amazing work. And the squad itself is looking pretty impressive, if you ask me. Only one player below the 90, and that is Eder Militao as we speak. Even Nico Paz on the bench has gone up to an 89. But I do need to show you what happened in the Champions League. We got first ahead of Barcelona. Two big teams fighting for it. In the round of 16, we got past Benfica. What did Barca do? They got past Young Boys. Quarterfinals, we beat Lille, a team that we had loaned Endrick to. Barcelona gets past Dortmund. Semi-finals, we get past Real Sociedad. Barcelona comes in and beats PSG. So now, the ultimate finale, the El Clasico in a Champions League finale is about to happen. And if I cannot win this one, that's going to be painful. Any coach that loses an El Clasico Champions League finale probably gets just kicked out instantly. And well, here we are in that Champions League finale, and honestly, I gotta tell you, I'm very hopeful going into this because it is the El Clasico. I have to beat Barcelona. There's no two ways about it. And here goes Valverde trying it again. I love that power shot, so we gotta keep trying. Arda over to Mbappe, 19th. He smacks it top bins. The defenders are too far away from Kylian Mbappe, who takes the Real Madrid squad up by 1 goal. In the 83rd minute, however, Militao, I was too far away from my opponent and I gave them the chance to shoot. I thought maybe he's gonna pass it, but at the end he took the shot. But in extra time, we are now scoring with Kylian. 102nd minute. Look at that. That's the equalizer once again for Barca, and that would push us into penalties. However, they had another chance, a big one. Courtois had to step up for me to keep us going through into the penalty shootout, and he had to do it twice. 119th, he steps up again, and now in the shootout, I needed him more than ever before. Now, we started scoring and they did the exact same thing. However, on some of these penalties, some errors would have been made. First of all, Vinny Jr. has missed, or I should say they saved it, but Courtois did the same. Jude smacks it top bins. It is De Jong down the center. Big mistake. So now we have the advantage thanks to Courtois. And Courtois could have saved that one too, but it's okay because Trent will smack it into the top left corner. Courtois is my hero. They're celebrating Trent, which is okay. But Courtois, you, old man, are the reason why Real Madrid has lifted their third Champions League trophy in a row. So where are we this season in La Liga? Well, we have 96 points. Another La Liga title. Real Madrid has truly turned this into a one-team competition. Barcelona cannot keep up as we speak. But real quick, the fact that everyone is even talking about Real Madrid right now, even though they're only 4 points off the top of the league table and still doing quite well in the Champions League. Pretty impressive, isn't it? The standards, I talked about this multiple times in this video, it's insane. But on top of it, I've just seen an interview where Xabi Alonso is talking about the fact that he might return into the Premier League at some stage, talking about a former club as well. Of course, Liverpool. I would love to have Xabi there because Wirtz and Frimpong and many other players, in my opinion, would benefit from it, because apparently the reason why Xabi Alonso and the Real Madrid players, I mean, let me just go ahead and show you them right here. As you see, the top scorers for us here. 22 goals in La Liga from Arda, 16 and 8 from Kylian Mbappe. But a bunch of these players apparently are not willing to work as hard as Xabi wants them to go ahead and do so. Especially players like Vinny Jr. and Kylian Mbappe are apparently being requested to do a lot more defensive work, to run around a lot more, to put pressure on their opponents. And that's something that Xabi did exceptionally well at Bayer Leverkusen. So the fact that he doesn't get it from these players, which is what's said in the media right now, kind of shows me why the team might be struggling as much. I mean, struggling. In the Champions League, by the way, we came in second behind Liverpool this time around. The PSG and Liverpool have the same record as we do. None of them have losses. Barcelona also didn't have losses. City as well. Pretty impressive from a bunch of teams. In around the 16, though, we beat Celtic with 7 goals, okay? That's impressive, even though, yes, it's Celtic, but still. In the quarterfinals, we beat Spurs, again, with 7 goals. I don't know what's going on there. In the semis, we came up against Barcelona. The El Clasico happened again, and we beat them 4-2. Would have loved to play against them again in the finale because that was an intense one. But the fact that Juventus has come through, a club that back in the day used to be exceptional, I love the fact that we're up against them. And at Juventus, right now, their top scorer is Jonathan David. 7 goals, 2 assists. Kenan Yildiz has 6 and 5. And I am actually hearing rumors about Kenan Yildiz being a player that Real Madrid would be interested in. And again, I'm asking myself, if Kenan Yildiz joins, who loves to play on that left-hand side, what happens to Vinny Jr.? Surely that can't happen. But hey, let's take a look at the squad here. 97, 96, 96. As you guys know, most of the time for me, I don't necessarily use the mainstream players. I try to build up young talents, but sometimes it's really fun to jump into career modes like these and play with the actual top players in world football. Now, Garcia has to play left back for us this time around because Carreras is on a red card. He's suspended. Actually, you know what? Garcia, I'm sorry. Camavinga is the all-rounder. I'm going to put him into that left back position and run it this way. I think that's going to be even better. But a question has to be asked around Camavinga. Surely he's not going to be happy with constantly being rotated and being benched in this squad. Camavinga is a great talent. What's going to happen to him in the future? Is he going to become finally a starter for this team consistently? Or should he be looking for a way out? I'm pretty sure tons of teams would love to have him in their squad. Down on the bench, we have Endrick, Paz, Mastantuono, Hausen on world-class levels alongside Svilar, which I'm really looking forward to use. Especially Nico Paz has been great every time I used him so far, so I'm really looking forward to that. But Juventus, let me quickly see your entire starting 11 right here. Let's take a look at our opponents. So this is the squad we're facing for the 4th Champions League trophy in a row, breaking the record of Zidane and his squad back in the day. Jonathan David, Yildiz, Conceição, Nuno Mendes, Jegrova, Locatelli, Thuram, Gatti, Bremer, Kalulu. On the bench, I see Evan Ferguson, I see a good talent in Adzic. I see Krupp Miners being benched, which is probably the way to go. But apart from the starting 11, I'm not necessarily too scared of this team, I must admit. But sometimes those are the squads that beat me in the end, just because their formation works against me. 3-4-2-1 this year on FC26, for me, I've not been able to use it at all. FC25, I loved it. And so here we go into one of the nicest stadiums in Germany for many years. It is Schalke, who obviously were lost in the second division, or are still lost in the second division for quite a while now, but I'm glad to step into this one. If you think Schalke, you have to think of players like Manuel Neuer in the past. You have to think of Leroy Sané when he was a young talent coming out, but also you have to think of the likes of Draxler. You have to think of Raúl when he moved from Real Madrid to Schalke. I think that was like one of the most shocking transfers I've ever seen in my life, as Jude Bellingham takes us 1-0 ahead instantly. Jude Bellingham with his signature celebration is back at it again. That is a huge moment. Immediately, we're taking the lead here and showcasing that we badly do want to get that 4th Champions League trophy. Krupp Miners, Kenan Yıldız, here he comes. Kenan Yıldız running down the wing. Kenan Yıldız back inside. They're gonna look for Kefren Turam. Kuipers, I don't know who the hell this guy is. It's 1-1. That's what it is. Juventus is back into it, lads. Some genuinely shocking defending for me, as you can tell. I was a bit nervous there because I hate it. I absolutely hate it when they start like dribbling slowly into the box. I just don't know what to do most of the time. Jude picks up the ball here as we do run through. Jude Bellingham. Inside, Mbappe! Jude with the interception that makes the difference, and Kylian Mbappe keeps on scoring goals for Real Madrid in record-breaking numbers. I think he is like en route to score the most goals in a calendar year for a club like Real Madrid or Barcelona. I think I've seen the numbers of Ronaldo. He might be right up there. Jude aiming for Mbappe, and he finds the perfect moment. Kylian Mbappe chased down by Bremer. Hits the goalkeeper. Kenan Yıldız, great cross. They could have scored the equalizer, but luckily it was offside even. Oh, wow. What the hell is going on? Juventus. Trent. Oh! Okay, I thought that was outside. Trent gives away a penalty in literally like the last minute of the game. Courtois, be my hero one more time. Jonathan David, bottom right. No. I really bottled that. I don't know. Was it necessary to slide tackle there? I was quite confident that I could get to the ball, but I was completely wrong. Can we respond straight away? Is there a chance where Arda just goes through everyone and just keeps going until he has space to shoot and win it all? Well, into extra time we go, and this is where we shine, my friends. Down the right, Mastantuono. Down the center, Jude, I like you, but I'm a big fan of Nico Paz. And you know what? Endrick, can you save Real Madrid? Let's see. And Dienhausen gets his chance at center-back in the finale as well. Oh. Uh-oh. Kefren Turam. What the? Kick it away. Trent. Oh my God, Trent, what are you doing? What the hell are you doing? What happened? Oh, it counts as offside. Brother, I am getting so lucky. How is that? Was it offside before then? Or why did that turn into an offside? I'm very confused as to how... I don't care. I got it done. It's 2-2 still. And here we go with Nico Paz. He's aiming for Vini Jr. In the center is Endrick. No way. Over to Mastantuono. I don't know who the hell I'm passing to, but it worked out somehow. Nico Paz going through too. Are you kidding me? That is the best La Croqueta I have done in years. 119th minute. Nico Paz is the hero of Real Madrid. Let's check the replay of that incredible moment. Kefren Turam is not even aware of what just happened to him. And so with Nico Paz right behind Valverde, we are lifting the Champions League trophy. What a run this has been, beating the record of Zidane, taking Real Madrid to where they belong, and I'm pretty sure Xabi Alonso will probably figure things out, unless they obviously lose against Manchester City, where apparently he might get sacked. And if that happens, I think a lot of things will happen in the coaching world. If Xabi Alonso goes on a free, I think a lot of clubs will be hunting him down. It's not just him, it's also Fabregas that is wanted by many clubs, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But guys, thank you so much for watching. It has been a pleasure to play with this incredible Real Madrid side, who are going to be successful nonetheless. Take care and peace.